So the other day I was reading this book called Be As You Are, The Teachings of Sri Ramana Maharshi. It's a book containing the conversations of Sri Ramana Maharshi and people that go visit him for advice. He became a mystic when he got an epiphany and became enlightened at age 16. He goes to a holy mountain and pilgrimage center in South India, and he became India's most popular and revered holy man. Visitors would constantly go see him for advice, and he would give out his teachings in silence. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the things in the book and give my thoughts on them. I usually do videos where I explain things to the audience, but this video will be more discussion based, and I strongly recommend you to comment your thoughts as well. So during his time at the monastery, which was from 1896 till his death in 1950, Sri Ramana only had a walking stick, a loincloth, and a bow as his private possessions. He was also a very silent person who wouldn't speak much. When people went to visit him for advice, he taught in a very unusual fashion. He pretty much just sat there in silence with them, but he emanated a silent force of power that stilled the minds of the people attuned to it and allowed some people to experience the state of mind he was always in. Now, most of the visitors wouldn't understand the silent teachings, so he was more willing to give out verbal teachings in the later years. The interesting thing is that the things he would say would contradict himself, because he insisted the silent flow of power represented his teachings in their most direct and concentrated form. Basically, he would be adapting his teachings to a level that conforms to the understanding of the people that went to see him. So as soon as he opens his mouth, he is a level below from his most important teachings. Most of his explanations were geared towards convincing followers that this was their true and natural state. Let's go through an example. So if you were to ask him, how do you be enlightened? The very first answer would be where he just stares at you in silence. If you didn't get it, he would tell you, you're already enlightened. And if you were to keep going through all his answers, his final answer would be where he would prescribe you some activities to do. Okay, now I'm going to chime in with some of my thoughts. Before I start, I want to state that I'm not a very spiritual guy, and I don't understand spirituality that well, but I am learning. If you think I'm missing the point, leave a comment saying that. I think silence is important, but I don't really see how it can be used to impart knowledge. In my videos on why silence is powerful, I say that silence is useful for preventing you from saying something you might regret, and it gives you a good chance to observe other people. I also say that being more quiet can make you appear more mysterious, but I also warn that too much silence can make you appear suspicious, and you should find a good balance between listening and talking. I understand the value of silence in communications, but I fail to see the value of it when it comes to teaching. It seems impossible to learn something just from staring at someone. However, I do somewhat agree with the fact that if you're around someone enlightened and you're both silent, you might be able to calm your mind around them. Someone who is charismatic can instantly brighten up the room and raise your energy, so it makes sense that someone enlightened can calm your mind. Using silence to calm someone's mind can be very impactful, and it's a good thing. Anyways, let's look at Sri Ramana's reasoning as to why silence is powerful. A realized one sends out waves of spiritual influence which draw many people towards him. Yet he may sit in a cave and maintain complete silence. We may listen to lectures upon truth and come away with hardly any grasp of the subject, but to come into contact with a realized one, though he speaks nothing, will give much more grasp of the subject. He never needs to go out among the public. If necessary, he can use others as instruments. I don't think I can totally agree with him there. I think that trying to get advice from someone that is already enlightened can be so frustrating. They see the world completely differently from the way you see the world. If you're asking them, how do you be happy? They might respond that you're already happy. You respond with, but I'm not happy at all. And they will respond with, you just need to let go of the idea that you are not happy. Then you can be in your natural state. I feel like it's really hard to get value out of something like that because you don't get any directions on what to do or learn about any concepts that you can apply. On the other hand, if you were to go to a life coach and ask them how to be happy, they will tell you to build habits like meditating and exercising. I think that practical advice provides way more value than being told you're already happy. I also think that it's really hard to try to be enlightened by copying what enlightened people do. Most people don't think retreating into the middle of nowhere without the internet is appealing because you can't really get any work done and you can't get much entertainment. If you somehow think that taking a week or two off to go to a cabin in the woods without the internet is appealing, I still don't think you will come out enlightened. Some famous people actually escape to a cabin in the woods, but they do that to fuel their creativity or be productive. Bill Gates used to take Think Weeks where he escaped to a cabin in the woods for a week to look through potential investments and new innovations. A famous YouTuber you might know named Nathaniel Drew did the same thing and filmed the process in one of his videos. He did it to reset and refuel his creativity. The bottom line is that I think you most likely won't be enlightened by trying to follow what enlightened people do without their state of mind. Most enlightened people have that epiphany where everything changes and then they are happy doing the things they do. Trying to copy them without having their state of mind won't lead to the results you want. I have been meditating for a while and I never had any spiritual breakthroughs while meditating. Meditating does work since it improved my overall mood, but it seems really hard to get a spiritual breakthrough from it. That's pretty much what I have to say. What do you think about the information shared in this video? Leave a comment below, and if you want to learn more about the power of silence, check out the playlist of my videos on silence on the end screen.